तव कथामृतम् तप्तजीवनम् कविभिरीडितम् कल्मषापहम् श्रवणमङ्गलम् श्रीमदाततम् भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः।
ॐ तव कथामृतं तप्तजीवनं कविभिरीडितं कल्मषापहं श्रवणमङ्गलं श्रीमदाततं भुवि गृह्णन्ति ये भूरिदा जनाः. We are studying the Gospel of Sri Ramakrishna, and yesterday we started, or rather touched upon, the conversations of Monday, January 1, 1883. We take back our mind from that start. At 8 o'clock in the morning, Sri Ramakrishna was seated on a mat spread on the floor of his room at Dakshineshwar. So, not necessarily is to sit on the bedsheet, but sometimes on the floor also, because he had no high and low consciousness in his mind. That is the reason. Since it was a cold day, he had wrapped his body in his moleskin shawl. Pranakrishna and M were seated in front of him. Rakhal too was in the room. Pranakrishna was a high government official and lived in Calcutta. Since he had had no offspring by his first wife, with her permission he had married a second time. By the second wife he had a son. In the Indian tradition, if you are married and become a householder, you have to leave a son. Otherwise, your life in the world is incomplete. That is the notion, Indian notion. If you are not married, the question does not arise. But if you are married, if you have taken up the householder's life, then you must leave one offspring behind. And because he did not have from his first wife, and not forcefully, he took her permission and married again, and he had a son. So, Pranakrishna is being described in detail because he is the receiver of the talks in this chapter. Because he was rather stout, the master addressed him now and then as the fat Brahmin, out of love, affection. He had great respect for Sri Ramakrishna. Though he a householder, Pranakrishna studied the Vedanta. Normally, sannyasis study Vedanta, but in exceptional cases, householders also study Vedanta. So, he had studied the Vedanta and had been heard to say, Brahman alone is real and the world illusory. I am he. So, the dictum of Vedanta he had understood or assimilated or was feeling accordingly, and used to say, Brahman alone is real, that is the truth in the Vedanta, and the world is illusory, and I am he. That means Advaita. The master used to say to him, in the Kali Yuga, the life of a man depends on food. So we have to understand, Kali Yuga means the man's mind has become more and more bahirmukh, outgoing and gross. So when the mind has become gross, it definitely is attached to the body. And the mind is attached to the body, then hunger is absolutely follows. And so man is bound to food in the Kali Yuga. The path of devotion prescribed by Narada is best for this age because Soham, and that is possible when there is no body consciousness. We have seen this again and again. And then what is the way? Path of devotion prescribed by Narada is best for this age. Now, once we have discussed this point, there is a book, famous book, Narada Bhakti Sutras. There is various mentions of Narada, the teacher, in Bhagavatam and many other sources. And there is a treatise called Narada Pancharatra. And now, which is Naradiya Bhakti? Because some monks whom we revere in the mission, Swami Bhajananandji, he holds the view that Narad Bhakti Sutra is not what Thakur meant. He meant Bhakti as taught in the Narada Pancharatra because Thakur sometimes used to tell and do dance, sing, clap hands and take the name of God, and that is what is mentioned in the Pancharatra. But on the other hand, we also see that this book, Narada Bhakti Sutras, the ideas are very much telling with Sri Ramakrishna's ideas. One is harmony, the other is Advaita in the Bhakti language. So, there was an internet problem, and I do not know whether you are all staying back, but there was an internet problem, and now it has been resolved. So, I wish to resume. If any one of you writes on the chat that you are still there, I will be better off. It's a wonderful portion today, please. A devotee had brought a basket of jalebi for the master. Jalebi is a special, one of the Indian sweets. It is made of fine wheat flour called maida and fermented slightly and made into a particular shape, fried. We are all still there, no? Fine. We are all back, Maharaj. Very good. So, it is put in syrup and it soaks syrup. That is the jalebi. Now, a devotee had brought a basket of jalebi for the master, which the latter kept by his side. Eating a bit of the sweets, he said to Ramakrishna with a smile, "You see, I chant the name of the Divine Mother, so I get all these good things to eat." There was a laughter. But Thakur is telling a great principle. Great principle. People like Ramakrishna, they like the Nirguna Brahma. And same Brahma is Sagun Sakar also. And that is represented by the Divine Mother. And as we say, if God wills, everything happens everywhere. And especially, God is not partial, but those who are devoted to God, they experience automatically good things of life. In this connection, I will tell you another incident. One day, Swami Narendranath measured Thakur's bed, and it was 9 inches thick. And Swami Vivekananda joked that you are Paramahansa and you sleep on a 9-inch thick bed. Sri Ramakrishna said, I get this because I talk of the mother. If you do mother's work, you will get a bed which will be double of this, 1.5 feet thick. And when Swami Vivekananda came back from America and things were arranged in his room, and when he saw he had a bed of 1.5 feet thick, and he wept, remembering Thakur's words, and he could not sleep on that. He slept on a camcot. Even today, if you come to the room which Swami Vivekananda used, you can see that. Now, my sentences are going down. Let me complete it. So, this is what happened. So, if we are doing mother's work, mother takes care to keep that person not only somehow living, but nicely living. So this is what Thakur has said. Now, but, that is Thakur. But it is not for this that I am worshipping her. It is not only this that she gives. It is not these things of the world that mother gives. If we are really devoted to the mother, mother takes care of a spiritual life. And so, but she doesn't give such fruits as gourd or pumpkin. She bestows the fruit of Amrita, nectar, immortality. How? Knowledge, love, discrimination, renunciation, and so forth. So all the things necessary for spiritual progress till the culmination. That is Mother's grace, not jalebi or pumpkin or gourd. She takes care definitely, but it does not mean that she takes care this much only. In the Gita, where this portion comes, there Shankaracharya has said that Yoga Kshemam Vahamyam does not pertain to only things of the world. Whatever is necessary for spiritual enhancement, that also she gives. And whatever is necessary for the preservation of spiritual heights, that also God gives to those who know nothing but God. So that is what is reflected here. Thakur says, she gives knowledge, love, discrimination, renunciation, and so forth. काय रे? नाही, माझ्या ह्याच्यात तर चालू आहे. थोडं चॉपी आहे म्हणून लोक म्हणतात ते. मी चालू ठेवतोय आता, मग उद्या पुन्हा रिपीट करेन, पण आज चालू ठेवतोय. So, let me complete today. Tomorrow I will repeat this section. A boy 6 or 7 years old entered the room. The master himself became like a child. Can you believe this? An old man around 45 or so, can he become a child? And Thakur is to become a child. The meaning of a child is that innocence, egolessness. Without any ego, without any self-importance, without any worldly knowledge. So that is the child. And he says, Master Masha is telling the master himself became like a child. And how he covered the contents of the basket with the palm of his hand as a child. A child, if he sees some other child, and he fears that his thing may be snatched away by that child, so he hides it. Now see, 100%, 200% transformation. Thakur became a child, and Thakur was never interested in keeping things, never attached to anything, but a child is not attached, and yet child behaves like that. And Thakur's behavior is like a child. Then see how it culminates, that is still wonderful. As a child does to conceal sweets from another child, lest the latter should snatch them. Then he put the basket aside. Suddenly the master went into samadhi. Suddenly the master went into samadhi. Eyelessness leads to samadhi. Thakur became a child, actions like a child, but eyelessness has led him to samadhi. So see, again and again the question will come, can a man do like this? Can a Superman do like this? Can a saint do like this? Is it not clear sign that Thakur is spirituality congealed? So, see, like a child, wanted to hide his jalebi. And because of that simplicity, eyelessness, he has gone into samadhi. And sat thus a long time, absorbed. No question of time there. His body was transfixed, his eyes wide open and unwinking. Wide open eyes. So we close our eyes or keep half open to meditate. And Thakur's eyes are wide open, but he's not seeing anything. He is in samadhi. So that is called Sahaja Samadhi, natural samadhi, not with an effort. So the position of the eyes is wonderful. And unwinking, that is the main thing. Wide open, but unwinking. His breathing hardly perceptible, meaning that we do not know whether he was breathing or not. After a long time, he drew a deep breath, indicating his return to the world of sense. Now, original Bengali is opposite of this, please. Dirgha Nishwas Felilan. He threw out a deep breath. He threw out a deep breath, not breathed in. You see, Thakur has repeatedly told that in devotion, the kumbhak happens automatically. So the breath is checked inside. And when he is coming back to the ordinary plane, that collected inside breath, the concentrated, the checked breath inside comes out. That is Dirgha Nishwas Felilan. He threw out a deep breath, not inhaled a deep breath. Anyway, indicating his return to the world of sense. Now, something extraordinary is coming. And remember, he's talking to Pranakrishna. And Pranakrishna, due to his Vedanta study, knows only the Nirgun form of Brahman, essentially Nirakar. And Thakur is describing graphically his experiences of the Sagun Brahma, because Pranakrishna is pure inside. Pranakrishna has done sadhana, so there is receptivity inside, and on him, if Thakur can impress the reality of the Sagun Brahma, then Pranakrishna will change his attitude and will grow spiritually. So wherever there is a possibility of spiritual growth. Thakur does everything for him. So, my Divine Mother is not only formless, she has forms as well. One can see her forms. One can behold her incomparable beauty through feeling and love. So the means is feeling, hridaya and love. And one can see the infinite beauty, infinite sweet beauty. So Sagun Brahma is as real as Nirgun Brahma. They are not two. And same Brahma, when it is loved, then we experience of this. Mother herself reveals herself to her devotee in different forms. Then he describes, I saw her yesterday, fresh. She was clad in a seamless ochre-colored garment and she talked with me. Sannyasinis generally use an alkhala, that means seamless ochre-colored garment. And mother came in that form. So he saw a form. How he knows it is mother? Consciousness is that universal mother. Universal consciousness is Thakur's consciousness, and the form he sees is the form of a sannyasini. I saw her and she talked with me. So it is real. The reality is still confirmed by not only he saw, but he heard her talk. She came to me another day as a Mussalman girl, 6 or 7 years old. So there also, how he knows it is the mother? The consciousness is that it is the universal divine mother. And the form is a Mussalman girl. So there is no limitation in what form she may appear. Mussalman, they do not believe in Kali. But Kali does not depend upon their belief or unbelief. She can take any form. So she has taken the form of a Mussalman girl of age 5 or 6 and she had a tilak on her forehead and was naked. 5, 6 years old girl. She did not have any cloth. But she is a Mussalman girl and with a tilak. She walked with me, joking and frisking like a child. So all this is, people will think delirium or madness. But these are all verified, real experiences. And especially he is telling Prana-Krishna about it. So that if he is impressed by all this reality of the visions, then his door to the experiences will get opened. That is the purpose. At Hridaya's house, I had a vision of Gauranga. That is Thakur's greatness. He does not differentiate. God can come in any form. Gauranga means Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, an incarnation of God, teaching bhakti for Vishnu, Krishna, and here, Divine Mother, that is a Shakta idea, universal mother. She was a Brahma Shakti. So, God can take any form and Sri Ramakrishna experiences all forms and describes them to us. And that is why this gospel has become a living treatise. At Hridaya's house, I had a vision of Gauranga. He wore a black bordered cloth. Black bordered cloth, I told you the other day, is worn by newly married people, young people. And so, God can appear in any form. Haladhari used to say, Sri Ramakrishna's cousin brother who knew theoretical Vedanta. Haladhari used to say that God is beyond both being and non-being. God is beyond bhav and abhav. Bhav means relationship. Abhav means unrelated. So God is beyond bhav and abhav That is what Haladhari told Sri Ramakrishna. I told the mother about it, but for him, the Divine Mother is absolutely real. At the most, he goes to the temple and asks her. Not always. Within himself, Mother is there. So he refers to that. The Divine Mother appeared to me in the form of Rati's mother. That is still wonderful. Rati was a Vaishnava devotee, and she used to come to Dakshineshwar and was very much attracted to Sri Ramakrishna. But one day, when Sri Ramakrishna was going to the Kali temple, she stopped coming from that day. So, a hardliner Vishnu devotee, but the Divine Mother comes in her form. You cannot resist her. Mother appeared to me in the form of Rati's mother and said, "Do thou remain in bhava." Here we know this incident. Master Masha has started coming to Thakur. He is not yet knowing the real word. The real word is bhava mukha. You remain in bhava is not the command. You remain in bhava mukha. And footnote is telling about that. The footnote is not about bhava. The footnote is about bhava mukha. Let us read. A rare state of divine exaltation. When the devotee, after realizing the absolute, remains in the borderland between the absolute and the relative. That means just one glimpse, he has gone to absolute. Just lower down, he sees the relative. Nirgun, Sagun, Brahmar, in between there is a place. In this state, he sees that both the absolute and the relative, as the two aspects of the Godhead, are real. God himself is Nirgun, God himself is Sagun. Sagun may be lower, but highest is not Nirgun only. Highest is Nirgun Sagun. That is the real nature of God. And Thakur has realized that. And any time that comes to him. So, Mother, in the form of Rati's mother, told Thakur, you remain in Bhavamu. Means don't get dissolved in this Nirvikalpa Samadhi always. You are born to help the people, so you remain in Bhavamu. I repeated this to Aladhari. Now and then I forget her command. Still wonderful. Forget means the natural tendency of his mind is to go to Nirvikalpa. The natural tendency of Sri Ramakrishna's mind is to go to Nirvikalpa because he has practiced hard. And so, that is his real nature also. Tad Vishnu Paramam Padam, Tad Dhama Paramam Mama. That means the all-pervading God, real nature is the transcendent God. And that is Thakur's mind. We find it absolutely difficult to raise the mind. And Thakur's natural mind was to go upward. Then he forgets this command that I have to remain not in Nirvikalpa, but in the Sagun. And the result was what? We have not this incident in other places. Once I broke my teeth because I didn't remain in Bhava. Understood? He went to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. There is no trace of I there. There was nobody around him. So he fell down and broke his teeth. You have to understand the deep connection. Master has given the words only. So the deep connection is that his natural bent of the mind is towards Nirvikalpa. Mother has told him to remain in Bhava. He forgot that because the natural tendency is above. And when he went to Nirvikalpa, there is no I there. Who will take care of the body? And there might not have been, there was not anybody around him who would protect him, save him. We know a sadhu came and for 6 months he bathed him and fed him, and every day Hriday was with him. or some devotee was with him. Now, if nobody is there, we have heard from Mathur Babu's wife that once Thakur fell on burning charcoal. And here we see he broke his teeth, that means fell down on the ground. That is Thakur. So I shall remain in Bhava unless I receive a revelation from heaven or have a direct experience to the contrary. That is, direct experience means in my mind itself it will arise. Or from heaven means the Divine Mother will tell me. When he will pass away, then he will not remain in Bhava. Otherwise, now and then he goes to Nirvikalpa, but he remains permanently in the Bhava mood. Very deep are these words. I shall follow the path of love because love creates a appearance of duality. And if I am there, I can maintain my I and I can maintain myself. Otherwise, if I go to Nirvikalpa, nobody is around, some again thing may happen, but I have to live for redemption of the people. What do you say? Now he is asking Pranakrishna. What is the meaning of this asking? Whether he has impressed on Pranakrishna's mind the reality of Saguna Brahma. Pranakrishna believes in Nirguna Brahma. Now Rakhal and Master Masha and others are present there. But Thakur is talking to Pranakrishna and he is telling him that, what do you say? So he has to think all this in the mind, get the inner sense of it, and then reply. And the result we see, Pranakrishna says, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That means all this talk has entered into Pranakrishna. Pranakrishna has felt the beauty of Sagun Brahma and its forms and says, if you do not remain like that, you may fall down. That is correct. So, yes, sir. Now, you see fun. Master, but why should I ask you about it? Understood. He has not asked Pranakrishna about it to get any confirmation for his. He has, and yet he has asked Pranakrishna. That is to influence or impress Pranakrishna's mind about the reality of the visions. And after that is over, he says, why should I ask you? There is someone within me who does all these things through me. So, I am not doing also. Someone means the God, someone means Saguna Brahma, someone means Mother Kali, and she does all these things through me. So, I need not ask anybody for confirmation, but I ask you so that you should feel it. These are the depths. There is someone within me who does all these things through me. At times, I used to remain in a mood of godhood. That means I am a man, God appearing as man. Sometimes I am in the mood that I am God. How understand? And would enjoy no peace of mind unless I were being worshipped as God. See the play. For some time he remains in that mood. That is the Bhavamukh actually. And so, but then he comes down for our sake. He behaves like a man to show the ideal to the man. And then he combines both the ideas and says, I am the machine and God is the operator. I act as he makes me act. I speak as he makes me speak. So, different moods are for the good of mankind and God wills that and does accordingly. There is no I in me. So, Why should I? He first asked him. Then he says, why should I ask him? I myself know. And then he says, there is no I. Sometimes this, sometimes that. God's play. And then he sings, keep your raft, says Ramprasad, afloat on the sea of life, drifting up with the flood tide, drifting down with the ebb. In the Ganges, there is ebb tide and down tide. And no will, no separate will other than God. So, the mind, the body, the inner consciousness, all take that form which God wills. I do not interfere. I do not say I do not go up. I do not say I do not go down, means in the light area only. So, mind goes up and down. Up and down does not mean down. Huh? Only down up to this and there. Down up to seeing God everywhere. And up to Nirvikalpa Samadhi. It is like the cast of leaf before a gale. Sometimes it is blown to a good place and sometimes into the gutter, according to the direction of the wind. The leaf does not care. Use leaf, even if it goes to gutter or sometimes nice place. That is the Samabuddhi. As the weaver said in the story, the robbery was committed by the will of Rama. I was arrested by the police by the will of Rama, and again by the will of Rama I was set free. This story, well, I feel now I will take it tomorrow. Huh? And today's thing might have been disturbed. So tomorrow I will repeat. This is a portion worth repeating 100 times. So tomorrow I will repeat this portion again. Om Tava Kathāmritam Tapta Jivanam Kavivirīditam Kalmashāpaham Shravanamangalam Shrimadaatatam Bhuvi Grunanti Ye Bhurida Jana. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om Tat Sat. Sri Ramakrishna Arpanamastu.